Tonight on Flix, Beaches, a brand new film from the divine Miss M.
Hi, Marge. How's life treating you? Marge, you ought to cut down on the gasoline. It's bad for the complexion.
We'll go behind the scenes and visit with Beaches star and co-producer Bette Midler.
It's not exactly taking charge, but it is putting your 2 cents in, even on days when you don't really feel that your 2 cents is worth anything.
We'll talk with co-star Barbara Hershey.
It's chemical. People connect or not. And immediately we connected on film.
And chat with the director, Gary Marshall.
I'm glad to be here. Bette was here. I missed her.
Meet the leading ladyettes Marcy Leeds and Mayim Bialik.
Ta-da!
The childhood versions of Hershey and Midler. And we'll hear from Lainey Kazan, who plays Mayim's, Cece's hot-headed stage mom.
Yeah, and how many times do I have to tell you don't wear that costume on the beach? I am not made of money, you know.
Action, Barbara.
We'll also visit the set, attend the Hollywood premiere, and trace the film's 8-year trek from best-selling novel to big-budget movie.
Happy birthday to you. Love from your darling bunny girl, Barbara. Mwah.
Hi, I'm Catherine Kinley. From under a boardwalk at Atlantic City in 1957 to a secluded cottage on the Pacific Ocean in 1988, Beaches follows the long and winding story of 2 women whose tempestuous 30-year relationship spans 2 marriages, 2 careers, and 2 coasts. A testament to the attraction of opposites. Barbara Hershey plays Hillary Whitney, the reserved upper-class San Francisco lawyer, to Bette Midler's brash, free-spirited, Bronx-born torch singer, Cece Bloom.
Welcome. Chez-moi. Jeez, it's cold in here. I guess hold. Forgot to send the heat up. Send the heat up! Creep. Crazy Turk.
I think it's pretty good. I don't want to jinx it, so I would never say, oh, it's the most fabulous thing ever. But it is one of the best things that I've ever done.
Oh, God. So, all the comforts of home, huh? Basta. Oh, yeah, we got everything.
It's highly emotional, and it has music in it, and it's the only project that I've had in the last 10 years that has allowed me to have, to make people laugh and cry in the same picture.
Hillary, I'm afraid of blood. I'm afraid of death. I can't even stand here. Someone say Duke is mad. You're going to be my partner. It's a terrible mistake. Oh, I should have known you'd do something like that. I should have known this isn't the first time,
The character just was someone I'd never played. It had some challenges that were interesting, potentially problems, and I wanted to see if I could overcome them. I could see what obviously Hillary saw in Cece, but I couldn't see as clearly in reading the script what Cece saw in Hillary, and I was afraid going in that Hillary would be dull. But I think when she became a human being, I don't know, those thoughts went out of my head.
What the hell is going on here? Would you please lower your voice?
No, I won't.
I want to know what's eating you. You have been a total bitch ever since you came to New York.
I could say the same thing about you.
I've simply been reacting to you.
Oh, for God's sake, don't you get it? We've grown apart. Happens to the best of friends. It's happened to us. We might as well face it.
All my girls, Suzanne Plachette.
During the 3 weeks of rehearsals, Midler and Hershey, who had only met once before at a party, developed a relationship that they say made the film work.
That's going to kill me, but I think it's a love story. It happens to be not romantic or sexual or anything like that, but it's really a love story. Girl gets girl, girl loses girl, girl gets girl, girl loses girl.
Jealousy. Jealousy. What am I jealous of? Your insane ambition? No, it must be your new money. No, I'm jealous of your marriage of convenience. That must be it. My what? Aren't you afraid you got him by default?
I felt strongly about Barbara. She's almost otherworldly. She's a kind of a fragile girl. She's not in the world, she's not elbowing her way through the world the way I am. And I like that about her. When the character gets sick, I was completely convinced acting with her that she was ill.
You know what?
What?
You really do stretch the truth. You know that?
I was very, very, very impressed by the depth of the research that she did. Because, I'm like the queen of superficiality.
I really enjoyed that.
Stay, Arthur, stay. Arthur, back to the bedroom. Back! You're embarrassing me, you idiot. Get back! Go back, you brain-damaged bag of bones, or I'll have you gassed.
Shooting began in Los Angeles under the direction of Gary Marshall, the brother of actress-director Penny Marshall.
My sister was not available, Penny, so they said, what's a boy that could work with us? And since I'm Scorpio, Italian, have 2 sisters, have 2 daughters, they thought maybe I could get along with 7 girls who were involved in this project.
But Gary's not exactly an also-ran. Among his credits, he wrote for The Danny Thomas Show, The Lucy Show, and The Dick Van Dyke Show. He was the man responsible for Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and Mork and Mindy. And on the silver screen, he directed The Flamingo Kid and Nothing in Common.
He was very interested in the material from the moment we sent it to him, from the moment he read it. So I feel we were very lucky to get him.
I think what I brought to it was certainly a male point of view, in the sense that a lot of pictures which involve women's friendships, all the men in the picture are rotten guys, and that's not really honest. So in this picture, some of the guys are rotten, some of the guys are terrific guys.
The men in Beaches include John Hurd as a husband and an ex-husband, James Reed as a husband and an ex-husband, and Spalding Gray as almost a husband.
You're going to stay, aren't you?
I can't hear.
I felt very strongly that it should have a lot of fun in it. Bette is hilariously funny in this picture, yet it's a drama.
You did everything you said you were going to do. Everything!
You're smart. You're beautiful. You have hair that moves.
I learned not to bug my eyes out so much. So I've been doing those comedies for so long where everyone has to talk on top of everybody else, and he just got me to slow down a little bit. I found him sensitive and came up with some wonderful ideas, very deep ideas about the characters.
Listen, I know everything there is to know about you, and my memory is long. My memory is very, very long.
It is required, I'll be very honest, that in this film there is some moments that are very emotional and people cry. You take a girlfriend in this picture, she'll fall apart and you can save her. So it's a good reason to see this picture with your girlfriend.
Ta-da! I can't believe it's really you. I'm so happy to see you again.
When we come back, is C.C. Bloom really Bette Midler? Is Bette Midler the real C.C. Bloom?
A concert performer. But despite the echoes C.C.'s character hold for the real-life Bette, Midler's career has vastly eclipsed that of her cinematic counterpart, especially when you consider that it was Bette's production company, with Bette as co-producer, that helped to bring C.C. onto the screen.
I thought it was a tremendous amount of work, and I couldn't get over that. I mean, I want to say, like, go ask somebody else that question. But that was a big surprise, and also that they pay attention to me at all. I mean, I'm sort of used to just going in and getting the clothes and figuring out the makeup and showing up. But this is not like, producing isn't like that. They really are interested in what you have to say.
There may be something over this here that I'll see that.
Well, yeah, but that's like a little contrived, isn't it?
I have a production company called All Girl Productions, and I have 2 partners, Bonnie Bruckheimer Martel and Margaret Jennings South. We are hyphenated to an nth degree. Margaret is a terrific with story and knows how to give a story resonance and profundity, if I can use that word. And Bonnie's field of expertise is dealing with all these disparate elements. Who's available, who wants what kind of money, what the logistics are, the locations, all that sort of thing. So we all sort of complement each other.
I'm very proud to work with Bette. I mean, I'm one of her biggest fans, and sometimes she teases me. If she'll do something, she'll say, "How was it?" And I'll say, "Great." And she said, "Oh, you're just a fan."
Do you think I'm really, truly talented, or do you think I'm only moderately talented?
I think you're truly talented. I've told you this at least 8 million times.
Yes, I know, but maybe you're only being nice. I mean, how do I know you really mean it and you're not just being nice?
She's a kick. She's great. We have fun.
But enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me?
Beaches is All Girls' first project, and it started as a book by Iris Rayner Dart.
My goal when I wrote the book was to celebrate women's friendships, and specifically a friendship that I have with my cousin,
This is a cousin who said to me, if you came to my door and said, I just killed 20 people, I'd say, they probably provoked you, come on in.
Iris said she was very excited because she had an idea for a book, and she sent me a treatment.
Bet read it, and then they called me, and I went over to Bet's house.
And I said some things about the strength of the character and the certain things about the character that I didn't like. And she, you know, either accepted them and revised or dismissed them and went on.
But she loved this material, and she looked at me and said, someday I'm going to make this.
Someday for Beaches came 8 years later.
Mostly the 8 years were spent making wigs for this movie.
Very funny. The picture's not autobiographical at all, although I do understand the musical side of that character pretty well because I started in the Broadway theater.
That's the story of, that's the glory of
From book to screenplay was the task of screenwriter Mary Agnes Donahue.
Actually, to me, all it is, it's just about a friendship, what a friendship is, the power of that relationship in your life, and that it's built on ordinary events.
Guess who got the lead in the Falcon Players' new musical?
And suddenly you realize, out of these rather dull little events, you've created one of the most powerful relationships in your life.
Spanning 30 years of friendship required Barbara Hershey and Bette Midler as kids. Meet Marcy Leeds and Mayim Bialik, the young Hillary and Cece.
CC Blue. Ta-da! Hi, I'm Hillary Whitney. Don't you recognize me? No. It was pretty exciting because, you know, a lot of jobs you work on, you don't get to work with someone who's your peer. So it was good. It was also good she was a girl. What planet do you live on? The Sammy Pinker Show just happens to be the most popular show in Atlantic City. And I'm the most popular actor. At first, you know, you don't know what to expect. Because, you know, here's a person that you've never met before.
Yeah, is she going to be pretty?
Yeah.
Is she going to be short? Is she going to be ugly? Or, you know?
Thanks, Marcy.
Marcy, who was seen in the miniseries LBJ, has also appeared in such films as Silver Screen and Near Dark. And Mayim can be found on the television series Webster.
Take a look at that TV.
What is that, a quiz show?
No, it's Bonanza.
And she says it was after she was chosen from over 800 other girls that she finally knew she could do it.
Only after you've experienced that you don't have to be a redhead to play Bette Midler do you really believe it.
That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Oh, yeah.
So what's next for this showbiz duo?
Kate and Allie or something.
Cece, where are you? Cece!
And where would Cece be without her stage mom, played by Lainey Kazan? Here on the set of her next film, Medium Rare, Kazan has also appeared in One from the Heart and My Favorite Year. But when she read the part for Beaches,
I said no. They called me and asked me if I wanted to play this part. And I had done the Jewish mama routine in My Favorite Year, and I really didn't want to do it again. I read the part, and I thought, no, I don't really want this. Maybe Shelley Winters.
When the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms.
But then Lainey reconsidered.
And so, you know, when they offered me the part, I think I did because I wanted very much to work with Bette, and I wanted to get to know her, and I wanted to work with Gary, and I thought it was a good team, and I'm so glad I did.
The glory of love.
Coming up next, the music in Beaches and Bette's brilliant career.
Its opening number, Under the Boardwalk, to its closing standard, The Glory of Love, Beaches marks Bette Midler's return to the cinema as a singer. It's been 10 years since her Oscar-nominated performance as a Janis Joplin-like rocker in The Rose, but in her latest role, a more accomplished Bette shows the full range of her musical talents.
I sing in this picture for the first time in a long time.
Scarecrows dressed in the latest styles, the frozen
because the singer is a sort of upwardly mobile, because she's going from sort of a trashy singer to sort of a classy singer. We wanted the music to reflect that too.
Help the needy and show them the way.
We sang Under the Boardwalk. We sang a Cole Porter song called I've Got My Help, which is very funny. So I wrote 2 of the songs, which are supposed to be sort of show songs. I think it's hilarious. I mean, one day I'm going to have played every single kind of singer that there is, even an opera singer.
It wasn't a musical, but we had a lot of music in it, so we really didn't have the luxury to shoot them full out, like in 5-6 days. We shot most of them in one day. Having a good time.
Everybody having a good time. Background action.
And why are you directing of musical numbers is not that well known. I directed the Happy Days Band once with Richie Cunningham, and I also, Laverne and Shirley once tap danced on the sidewalk. I directed that.
I've sung almost every kind of music there is to sing. I mean, I'm familiar with all kinds of singers, and I am so familiar with each one of those worlds because I have had a foot in each one of these worlds at some point in my life.
Born and raised in Hawaii, Bette Midler traveled to Broadway in the late 1960s, and in the early 70s, her singing career took off.
Stay with me, yeah, and we shall let expression sing
In 1974, she won her first Grammy for Best New Artist. She toured extensively during those years, and her stage shows included elements of vaudeville and stand-up comedy. And of course, it was all done in Bette's special style. 1979 to 80 found Midler starring in her first feature film, The Rose. For her work in The Rose, Bette Midler received an Oscar nomination, 2 Golden Globe Awards, and her second Grammy for the title song. She penned 2 books, one based on her touring and the other a children's story, starring a certain baby divine.
Becomes the rose.
He's going to give that dog fleas. Isn't that something? And it'll be your fault.
In 1986, Midler returned to feature films in her first Disney project, Touchstone's Down and Out in Beverly Hills. That year also saw Bette as a spoiled matron in Ruthless People. 6 months later, she starred with Shelley Long in Outrageous Fortune. And in 1988, it was Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler in Big Business.
What'll I wear? I gotta get my hair cut. Oh, this is just the sense of purpose I need.
And 2 years ago, Bette was recognized with a star on Hollywood Boulevard.
I'm an actress. That's where I've seen you.
I think I've had more success than I deserve, and I really have been very, very lucky.
We'll be right back with Beach's Hollywood premiere. Hollywood premieres are generally filled with personalities, paparazzi, and pre-projection jitters, and the Beach's premiere is no exception.
I'm always scared. It never changes. I'm always scared.
I'm anxious. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen any of the footage.
I'm nervous. I'm excited, though.
Also in the crowd tonight, Disney Studio Chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg.
What's important for us as a company, I think it's important for Bette as a star, is to take some chances and to never settle for doing the same thing twice.
And with husband Martin von Hasselberg close by.
It's going great. We couldn't be happier. Hi, how are you? Now it's done, and no one is more dumbfounded than we are, and we really feel blessed.
For me, going to a movie is, okay, I've got to stop thinking about what's happening in my real life, and I'm going to go and watch and be entertained and be taken away. And I think that that's what this film does.
Seeing this movie after having worked on it for so long and fighting so hard for things that you really, really, really believe in, you see them on the screen, and it's a very satisfying experience.
I guess my desire as a director is always what you call have people talk in the lobby, do something in the lobby. I'm a lobby director.
I cried so much. I hope my mascara isn't smeared.
I've never been in an audience in a film that I was in that reacted like this. Never, no. Not so vocally. It's great.
Isn't it powerful? Everybody in the cast was great, but Bette, it's her coming of age. This is it. To me, this is like what Gypsy was for Ethel Merman.
We're proud because we managed to get through it, and we're all still friends.
That's the story of, that's the glory of
True. Right now you can see Bette in Stella, the story of a single mom. It's a role Bette can relate to now that she has her own young daughter.